It's October, which means it's almost time for my favorite holiday of the year, Halloween. The time when mini chocolate bars are all over the place, 20-something girls post Facebook photos of themselves in skimpy outfits, more so than the rest of the year. I have an excuse to watch Seven, more so than the rest of the year. And the news has a reason to fearmonger about poisoned and tampered treats based on folklore and rumors that have never happened. And back to the girls thing. Girls, if you leave your Facebook profile photo as your skimpy Halloween costume for longer than, a week, it becomes less sexy and more sad. We get it. You were hot for a night. You ever see a girl use a Halloween photo for her dating profile pic? It's kind of depressing. Anywho, it's also time for Knott's Berry Farm's annual scary shit. For those of you unaware, Knott's Berry Farm is a theme park in California, and every year since 1973, they've done a thing called Knott's Scary Farm, wink, where they turn the whole place into a horror-themed park. These days, it's a month-long event. And this year, as part of the festivities, they had this thing called Fear VR 5150. Here's the description. Enter the mysterious Meadowbrook Institute and witness the abnormal case of a terrifyingly unusual patient named Katie in the groundbreaking virtual reality horror experience. Fear VR 5150. Using Samsung Gear VR powered by Oculus and strapped to a hospital wheelchair, come face to face with the deadly chaos unraveling around you. Disturbingly vivid sights and sounds invade all of your senses. I mean, technically, sights and sounds would only invade 2 of your senses, but whatever. Encounter the darkness that has taken over the medical staff during your fully immersive hospital stay. Patients beware. It is easier to check in than out. So that sounds fun. Fairly common scenario for a horror movie, a haunted hospital or some shit. Apparently, all too common if you ask some people. Mental health advocates called for the attraction to be shut down, claiming both the name, the 5150 part apparently being code for a possibly disturbed individual who could be a danger to himself or others, and the experience itself, which adds to the hurtful, dehumanizing, discriminatory, prejudicial, insensitive, offensive, and stigmatizing of mental illness. Now, this isn't their first time doing a hospital-themed thing. Last year, they had a haunted hospital maze. And fuck, it's not even close to the first time a psychiatric hospital has been used as a setting for a horror movie or a show. Didn't an entire season of American Horror Story take place in an asylum, only a few years ago? It's a very well-recognized trope, one that scares the shit out of people. But that's the problem, according to David Pilon, I don't know, President and CEO of Mental Health America Los Angeles. It is appalling that a ride would be based on someone being committed to the hospital or a psychiatric ward. It links being mentally ill with a potential for violence, and that is a huge problem. This is an incredible propagation of stigma. It's a fucking scary ride. It's meant to be upsetting. That's the whole fucking idea. And I'm sorry to say, but violent shit has happened in psychiatric hospitals. Unstable people have been and continue to be committed to psych wards. Sometimes they gotta strap them down for their own safety and the safety of others. And medicine was far less advanced at times, so things like shock therapy and other disturbing shit has happened. Doesn't mean it's good, but it means it could be used for inspiration for a scary piece of entertainment. As for propagation of stigma, is there a stigma around mental health issues? Absolutely, no fucking question about it. But if you believe people are gonna think, oh, so all people who suffer from any mental health issue are gonna kill me? Because there's a ride with a freaky patient at Knott's Berry fucking Farm, that's a hell of a goddamn leap. The ride isn't saying, oh, and by the way, kids, if you know someone who's depressed or has anxiety issues, they might murder you someday after possessing your whole family. It's a scary premise, nothing more. But this is too much, having to tiptoe around everything. Everyone's feelings matter. If you don't like it, don't go on the fucking ride. If it offends you, whoop-de-shit, so does every other fucking thing probably. It's just so fucking selfish. Something bothers you, so you have to shut it down for everyone else. I enjoyed that Knott's Berry Farm's statement was not apologetic at all. The edgy, adult-only attraction was never meant to portray mental illness. However, as it is impossible to address both concerns and misconceptions in the Halloween timeframe, at this time, we have decided to close the attraction. In other words, we can't placate these people by actually telling them what it's really about, so we're just gonna shut it down. Happy crybabies? So enjoy Halloween 2036. Figure by then, the whiners and religious people will have completely sucked the fun out of the holiday because you won't be able to reference insane people, ghosts, anything demonic, or anything that involves black magic. And of course, those sexy costumes promote promiscuity, so that'll be out. Vampires will be upsetting to hemophiliacs or the anemic. Werewolves will be triggering to the werekin who don't like their made-up identities being portrayed so negatively. Mummies will be considered cultural appropriation of ancient Egyptians. Skeletons will be offensive to people who have weak bones or were lactose intolerant and can't drink any milk for calcium or something. You get the idea. To me, that is scarier than any horror movie or haunted ride or attraction. A world where nothing could be potentially offensive to anyone, so everything's gotta be squeaky clean to the point of blandness. If it's not inclusive to anyone, it's excluded for everyone. So have a happy Halloween this year, everyone. Oh, but not too happy. Someone might be having a bad day, and enjoying something too much around them would be insensitive to their feelings.